and this is one sarcomere. These two are sarcomeres. So the boundaries of sarcomeres are called as Z line. So this is a Z line. Similarly, this one is also a Z line. Similarly, this one is also a Z line. So, yesterday we had discussed that on a Z line, a special type of filaments are attached. These filaments are called as Nikita?
Thin filament actin.
Thin filament. And these thin filaments are made up of actin protein. So again I am repeating, on the Z line, one thin filaments are always attached. These thin filaments are called as actin. Okay, or not actin, these are made up of actin protein. So we can write it down, these are thin filaments. Thin filaments made up of actin protein. Right? Okay. Just I'm erasing this part because we have to write down so many things in this area. Okay. So now, so this is also thin filament, and here is also, as it is a Z line, here is also thin filament present. Okay, in between two thin filament, one thick filament is also present. In the gap of two thin filament, one thick filament is also present. One thick filament is also present in the gap of two thin filament, and it is little bit overlapped with the thin filament. It is little bit overlapped with the thin filament. So this is thin filament. Similarly, let us see this side. This side is also having thick filaments. So these thick filaments are made up of, this thick filaments are made up of, this is a thick filament. This is made up of myosin protein. Myosin protein. Now we will discuss the main portion. Here you have to understand very calmly. The portion which is, I hope you have written down what is thick filament and what is thin filament. So I am erasing this. Now, the portion which is occupied by the thick filament, which is occupied by the thick filament. Which portion? Means from this portion. I am taking some other color. So the portion which is occupied by the thick filament from here to here, Understood? Again, if I draw it from the top, this portion which is occupied by the thick filament, the portion which is occupied by the thick filament is called as A band, is called as A band. Am I clear or not? The portion which is occupied by the thick filament, no matter what in that portion thin filament is present or not, but the entire length or this line, for we can erase this line and so the total area which is occupied by the thick filament is called as A line. Am I clear? Aditya Pandey, am I clear? Aditya, am I clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you listening?
Yes, ma'am.
You are not replying?
Actually, ma'am, my mic is not working properly.
Okay. So this portion where this entire thick filament are present, it is called as A band. Now moving ahead, the portion where only thin filament is present. Only thin filament, not like the overlapping parts. We will not consider this overlapping parts. The parts where only this thin filament is present, no other thick filaments are present. This part we will call as I band. Anisha, is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
What is an I band?
There are no thick filaments. Means the part where are no thick filaments.
Okay, so the part where no thick filaments are present is the I band. So similarly, if I say that this is the thick filament, this is another thick filament, this is again a thick filament. So what is an I band? What is an I band? I band is the portion where no thick filament is entered in the area of thin filament. How many of you have seen Pushpa movie? How many of you have seen Pushpa movie? Anisha has seen. Good. Anisha, there was a there was a song, you remember? Ye Mera Adda. Okay, so here I band is doing the same song. I band. As per I band reaction, I band is telling I'll not allow anyone inside my area. So I is the area where, write it down with me, where only thin filament is present. But what A band is telling, हम जहाँ से खड़े होते हैं वहीं से line शुरू होता है. So A band is telling the entire length of the thick filament. The entire length of the thick filament is A band. entire length of the thick filament is the A band. Entire length of the thick filament is the A band. So we can say this as that entire, write it down, entire length of the thick filament is entire length of the thick filament is A band. Concept of A band, concept of I band is clear. Concept of A band and concept of I band is clear. So as per that, this again will be I band. I band. Now, in the middle of in the as Z line, what is the Z line? Z line is the middle point of Z line is the middle point of the actin filament. So what is Z line? Z line is the middle point of the actin filament. This is a Z line. Again, this one is a Z line. The middle point of the actin filaments are called as Z line. Similarly, one point is also present, which is the middle point of the myosin filaments. Another point is present, which is the middle point. Suppose the entire length is from here to here. So in the middle part of that, there will be another line. Similarly, here also, in the middle part of the myosin filament will be again a line. This is called as, this line is called as M line. M line. This line is called as M-L-I-N-E, M line. So these are the Z lines. Middle point of the actin filament is called as Z line, and the middle point of the myosin filament is called as M line. Done. Lastly, one very small thing is there which we will discuss, that is H zone. H zone. What is H zone? H zone is the zone where only myosin filament is present. No actin filament is present in the H zone. So in the total length of the myosin filament, that is A band, only the portion where only myosin is present, that is called as H zone. Now, myosin is like a very হিংসুটে kind of বাচ্চা হয় না, আমার সব চাই, I need everything. I need my personal space. I need a space which my brother is sharing. So H zone is the personal space of myosin filament where no actin filaments are overlapped. This area is called as H zone, where I will write that. I went again. Where I will write that. This is the H zone. This is the H zone where only thick filament is present. Where only thick filament is present. We can write down only thick filament is present. Clear, or should I recapitulate? Next, I'll ask three questions. I'll ask you all three questions. If you are able to answer that, that means you understood the entire thing. If you are able to answer that, that means you are done. You are clear. First, you draw. I'm sending it in your group. First, you draw it down. Okay. So my first question is, are you ready? Or let me specifically to whom I'll ask, that person will answer. My first question is, what is the total length of thick filament called? What is the total length of thick filament called? Rest of you. Apurupa and Anisha only raised her hands. Nikita, what? I'm not teaching to the boys. Yes, Apurupa, tell me.
A band.
A band is the total length of the thick filament. Very good. Next question. Everyone except Apurupa. Is age zone included in A zone, or A zone is included in age zone?
Ma'am, can you repeat one?
11 never turn on their videos. See, you people are so bad that one of my colleague, she handles up to 8. So as all the kids up to 8 turn on their videos, so she is very habituate that students will definitely turn on their videos. So she is asking students video on करनी. Can you imagine how shame right now I'm feeling that, yeah, no, my students are like that only. I have to shout plenty of time, then only they will be turning on their videos. Yeah, my question is, still you people have not turned on your videos. See, after this much of dialogue I have given you, still you people are not turning on your videos. I know বেশি ডাটা খরচ হয়, but still কখনো তো একটু আধটু আমারও সম্মান রেখে দে. Okay, fine. So my question was, A line is inside of H zone, or H zone is inside of A band? Anisha খুব clearly বুঝতে পেরে গেছে। I am repeating again for Nikita that A band is inside H zone or H zone is inside A band. Nikita,
Yes, ma'am.
tell me. Tell me, H zone is inside A band or A band is, where is H zone? Where is H
Where
zone?
only thick filament is present.
That is small area or not?
No, it is large area.
Where only, what is H zone? In the entire picture, what is H zone? This area only, na? This area where only thick filament is present. Is that area inside A band? Is that area inside A band? A band is a area where the entire thick filament length is present.
Ma'am, H zone is inside A band.
So why this thing is, Acha, Anisha, tell me, A band is inside H zone or H zone is inside A band? Anisha, Anisha sleeping or what?
No, ma'am.
Tell me.
Ma'am, repeat the question. Actually, I got disconnected.
Same question. A band is inside H zone or H zone is inside A band?
H zone is inside A band.
Good. Next question. What is the private space of thin filament? What is the private space of thin filament?
I band.
So I band is the private space of thin filament. For the last time, I think I am having 8 minutes, which is more than enough. I am repeating this entire thing because after that we will only jump into muscle contraction. This structure of muscle, sarcomere, muscle fiber is done. Only one thing is left, that is contraction. So for the last time, students who really want to understand will understand within this time. Who really don't want to understand won't be. This is I am drawing a microfibril. This is a microfibril. So the compartments of microfibrils are known as
Sarcomere.
Good. So the compartments of microfibrils are known as sarcomere. So the compartments are guided by, or the boundary of compartments are called as, not audible. Again?
Line.
Z line, right. So the boundaries of sarcomeres are called as Z line. So this is our Z line. In the Z line, one specific type of filament is attached. In the Z line, which is called as
Actin protein.
actin filament, or which is also called as thin filament. Actin filament or thin filament. Okay? This is our thin filaments. So this is our thin filaments. In the middle of the thin filament, in the gaps of thin filament, one special type of filaments are also present, which is called as
Filament or myosin filament?
Thick filament or myosin filament?
Hello students, in this
Thick filament or myosin filament? Now, next question. As what do you think the area, the total length of the thick filament, the total length of the thick filament, total length of the thick filament, that is from here and here, here. This total length is called as,
A band.
this is called as A band. A band. And portion where only thin filament is present. The portion where only thin filament is present. For say, let us draw here. Portion where thin filament is present is the I band. Is the I band. This is the I band then. This is the I band. That I band. Now finally, the portion where only thick filaments are present. The portion where only thick filaments are present. No overlapping of thin filament. Only thick filaments are present. Is this area is called as
H zone.
H zone. Very good. H zone. Lastly, one single thing which is left, that is the middlemost point of the thick filament is called
M line.
M line. Very good. Bas done. Nothing is there. That is all. So let me just do the pointings. This is M line. This is Z line. This is again M line. This is again Z line. This is again Z line. So from one Z line to another Z line, the area is called as sarcomere. From one Z line to another Z line, the area is called sarcomere. From one Z line to another Z line, the total area is called sarcomere. So this thing is called as sarcomere. That's it. Last, this is the thick filament. This is the thin filament.
One question.
Yeah.
Ma'am, if it is asked that from I band to another I band, what we will say?
Acha, for that, I'm just telling you one simple equation. You remember, from one I band to another I band, this area does not say anything. But this formula is important to understand. Wait, you write down. This formula is very, very important. So, my question is one sarcomere is equal to this formula VVI. One sarcomere is equal to half I band plus one A band, one A band plus half I band. Now let's see if it is properly understandable or not. So one sarcomere means this area, right? One sarcomere means this area, this entire area. This area is a one sarcomere. So in this sarcomere, half I band, this is half I band, this part is half I band. If this is a total I band, acha, I'm drawing it again. This is a I band where only actin is present. This is the I band. So half I band is present. This is one I band. Next, one A band, a complete A band is present. So only this half. I don't know if you are understanding or not. I'm telling, wait, half. I'm drawing it so you will understand. Half portion inside, okay? Half of this place, okay? And this total A zone. So in a sarcomere, half I band, one A band, and half I band is present. Is it clear? Anisha, is it clear?
Yes.
Okay. That's all. I think sir is already in the meeting. Okay. Okay, students, I'm sending this class work to your group.